Well, how about that? You talk about a sound drubbing. Talk about a trouncing. President Obama has managed to put together back-to-back midterm landslide defeats for his party. Now there's quite an accomplishment right there. And the response from Obama and the left has been so out of touch. They are doing everything they can to completely mischaracterize the results of Tuesday's tidal wave election. They're in full-on spin panic mode. Unbelievable. But it is happening out there, and we'll talk about all of that right here on this week's Ray Warner Show, hosted by me, Ray Warner. Thank you all so much. Those of you out there who are listening, if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, if you want to rant or vent, feel free to do so. The email address is theraywarnershow@gmail.com. And right off the bat, I did get a question this week. I was asked, why do you call President Obama Barack the First? Well, for anyone else out there that's been wondering that, I call him Barack the First because he is America's first dictator, Barack the First. And there's a good chance, well, let's just say, of all the American presidents in history, with this president, there is the best chance that he will be the last president of the United States. I know, again, I'm just sounding crazy, right? Crazy conspiracy theorist. But especially since they're talking, about the next election and who's going to run. The left has been trying to build up Hillary, and they're doing everything they can to build her up. But the truth is, I don't think she can win. I don't know how she survives Benghazi. I don't know how she survives this.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
I mean, how do you get through an entire campaign with that monkey on your back? I can already hear her opponents in the debates mocking her with that statement. And I don't mean the Republicans. I mean in the primaries. I just don't know how she survives Benghazi. But like I said, with this president, it's very possible that he is the last president of the United States. And why not? Did you hear Obama after the Democrat pummeling last week?
To the 2/3 of voters who chose not to participate in the process yesterday, I hear you too.
To the 2/3 of you that chose not to participate in the process, I heard you too? So now Obama hears the non-vote? We already know he wins the dead vote, the cemetery vote. He wins the straw man vote, but now he hears the non-vote? I want you to picture this. It's 2016. There's been a long, hard-fought, drawn-out campaign. And Hillary beat, pick one. She beat Chris Christie, let's just say, hypothetically. And she wins the election. So January 2016, she shows up at the White House and rings the doorbell. Barack the First answers the door. Hillary says, I'm the next president. And Barack the First says, well, I heard the 2/3 who didn't vote, so I'm not leaving. I'm still the president. How do you hear a group of people who are silent? How do you hear an opinion not offered up by anybody? I need to know this. Well, Barack the First hears them. Remember that movie, I See Dead People? Barack the First says, oh yeah, well I hear people that aren't even talking. Beat that. Now, after you work your way past the absurdity of it, you start to think, or at least I did, why say something like that? Now, I've said in the past, I think Obama tries to find the most offensive thing to say in any given situation. Just that way, we're talking about what he said and not what he's doing. It's his way of creating this little distraction. I believe he just doesn't care what people think. He constantly tries to position himself as the victim. which is why I still say Obama wanted the Democrats to lose. I mean, he went around torpedoing their campaigns. He told the American people, my policies are on the ballot. Why would you do that if you want your party to win? I mean, he wants the gridlock. He wanted Republicans in there because he wanted the gridlock. He wants that image that everybody's picking on him. Everybody's creating all this gridlock, and the poor president can't get anything done because of the Republicans. He plays it to the hilt. So why would he say it? Why quote a meaningless statistic? I guess it's not meaningless, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't mean anything. The vote is the vote. The people have spoken. But by quoting this little statistic, he gets to act like the entire voting process took place in the minority. And all those people that didn't vote, somehow, those are my people. It's just a way for him to try to nullify the results. He goes on TV and acts like it doesn't matter. But I'll tell you what, you talk about an absolute shellacking. We all know the big news is that Republicans won control of the Senate. And I think Democrats, along with thanking Obama, can thank Harry Reid as well. You talk about obstruction in Washington. What was it? Something like 400 or more bills came from the House, and Harry Reid just refused to even look at them. He would not bring them to vote. Remember the government shutdown? That did not have to be. Funding bill after funding bill was passed in the House, and Harry Reid refused to do his job. That's why there was a shutdown. And really, the funniest part of the whole government shutdown thing was that nobody really noticed, except the World War II vets at their own memorial, but they took down the gates. Remember that? That little stunt didn't work out either. And the poor kids turned away from the White House because they went to Washington to tour the White House, but because of the government shutdown, they were turned away. I mean, stupid stuff like that. But along with the Senate, Republicans picked up more seats in the House. I mean, if you recall the 2010 midterms, when voters did some housekeeping and Republicans took like 60-something seats, these midterms, they took another 12 on top of that, or at least 12 or something like that. You look at places like Arkansas. Not too long ago, Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas. And when he ran for president, he won Arkansas twice, in 92 and in 96. It was a blue state. And you look at Arkansas today. On Tuesday, Arkansas was one of the Senate flips. The voters there took the seat from Democrat Mark Pryor and gave it to Republican Tom Cotton. And that's not all. Arkansas right now, the home of Bill Clinton, the rock star of the Democrat Party, is all Republican. Both senators, all of the House seats, and the governor, all Republican. I mean, you talk about a turnaround. And after these midterms, Massachusetts now has a Republican governor again. Charlie Baker beat Martha Coakley. For Massachusetts to elect a Republican, I mean, that's saying a lot. Massachusetts is like one of those bluest of blue states. Illinois, where Barack I himself was a senator. You know, Chicago politics and all that, where entire cemeteries were registered to vote. Illinois elected a Republican governor. I mean, that's amazing. How does a Republican win in Illinois with all of that voter fraud going on there? Republicans now have something like 32 of the governorships in the United States. 32. That's no small deal. And not only did Democrats suffer this massive defeat, but some of the victories, you look at, let me see here. Where's my numbers? Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott ran for governor of Texas, and he beat Wendy Davis in that race. Greg Abbott, this is the guy in a wheelchair. Wendy Davis ran ads about him, somehow abusing the system, making fun of him in a wheelchair. That didn't work well, now did it? Abbott, he even won the women's vote, 52-47. How's that war on women crap working for you, Democrats? Abbott beat Davis by double digits. He won that race 59 to 38%. And that was with a Libertarian also in the race. He beat her by 19 points. And I can't be the only one who was tired of hearing this crap.
Looks like Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has a pretty confident contender, Allison Lundergan Grimes. Her campaign could beat Mitch McConnell in the upcoming 2014 election.
Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is in a statistical tie with Democratic Secretary of State Allison Grimes.
Polls show Grimes either a couple of points ahead or tied with McConnell.
Allison Lundergan Grimes, can you guys believe this, has a very real chance at unseating the top Republican in the Senate?
What you heard there was a bunch of liberals trying to pump up Allison Lundergan Grimes in her bid to unseat Republican leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell. I got so sick of hearing about Allison Lundergan Grimes and her good shot at unseating Mitch McConnell. The only audio relevant to that campaign was from James O'Keefe. He got some of Grimes' people to admit she has to lie about coal, a lie about her position on coal and what she plans to do about coal to get elected. You know, it's a lying game over there. That's what they were saying. Oh, and my other favorite soundbite from the Grimes campaign is of her refusing to admit that she voted for Obama.
Did you vote for President Obama, 2008, 2012?
You know, this election, it isn't about the president. It's about making sure we put Kentuckians back to work.
Did you vote for it?
I was actually in 2008 a delegate for Hillary Clinton, and I think that Kentuckians know I'm a Clinton Democrat through and through. I respect the sanctity of the ballot box, and I know that the members of this editorial board do as well.
So you're not going to answer?
Again, I don't think that the president is on the ballot.
She's a Clinton Democrat, so I guess she voted for Romney. Grimes lost to McConnell 56 to 40. She lost by 16 points. I mean, what do you do after a defeat like that? All of that hype from the left, all of that promise, all of that hope. And she turned out not to even be a serious candidate. What a joke. And she lost the women's vote too. And not only that, a Libertarian was also in that race. A Libertarian in that race got 3% of the vote. So even with the conservative vote split, Grimes went down in double digits. Another state that flipped, Montana, Republican Steve Daines beat Democrat Amanda Curtis 57 to 39, so he beat her by 18 points. Another landslide drubbing. And this race also had a Libertarian in it. And in North Carolina, another Senate flip. Democrat Senator Kay Hagan, that was no small deal. She went down to Republican Tom Tillis. And yep, you guessed it, even with a Libertarian in the race. You know, what's with these Libertarians anyway? You know, Tillis only beat Hagan by like 1.5 points. The Libertarian himself, he got like almost 4% of the vote. I mean, if he did any better, it could have caused a problem for the Republican. I mean, where are you, Green Party? Run some candidates in these races, will you? And out in Colorado. Colorado is another one of those liberal tree hugger states that turned blue some time ago, and Democrats have a death grip on it. But voters in Colorado took the Senate seat away from Democrat Mark Udall and gave it to Republican Cory Gardner. And again, the Republican won with a Libertarian in the running. And did you get to hear this ad? This was an ad run by a liberal think tank over there against Cory Gardner. Listen to this.
They're all out.
Did you try the corner market?
Of course.
Grocery store?
Sold out.
Drugstore?
Come on.
So everyone's sold out of condoms. How did this happen?
Cory Gardner banned birth control, and now it's all on us guys. And you can't find a condom anywhere.
I'm sorry. I mean, is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? Cory Gardner banned birth control. Like, as a United States Senator for Colorado, he'll have the power to just unilaterally raise his hand and ban condoms. Now, who believes this stuff? Listen to the rest of this stupid ad.
And the pill was just the start. The Pell Grants my little brother was counting on for college, Cory cut them. Climate change that everyone knows is weirding our weather. Cory flat out denies it. Sweet Pea, Cory denies science.
Come on.
So now global warming is weirding the weather, man. Sweet pea? Whoever wrote this ad, here's a tip for you. 12-year-olds can't vote, okay? They can't vote yet. You know, if you're a Democrat listening to the sound of my voice and you just heard that ad for the first time, that ad was intended for you. If you're a Democrat in Colorado, that ad was intended for you. If that doesn't offend you, I don't know what will. It's like they just assume, you're a tinfoil hat-wearing buffoon with an IQ of like 35 or something, and you're going to fall for a dumb ad like that. I would be offended. I would be offended at the insult to my intelligence. Don't go away. We'll be right back, folks.
From fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
Shocking news. 666, the mark of the beast, and the NIV. God said, mansaid.com.
Bible rewires addicts' brains. Geologists floored by water rock. God said, mansaid.com.
Dinosaurs and man contemporaneously. Hours of text and audio. God said, mansaid.com.
Radiometric dating and a 6,000-year-old Earth. Honey and the finger of God. Free love's deadly superbug. God said, mansaid.com.
Our healthcare premiums are out of control. I'm not sure what we're going to do.
Haven't you heard about MediShare? It isn't insurance. It's a nationwide network of Christians who save money by sharing each other's medical bills. We get to pick our own doctors, and our share is almost 40% less than our old premium.
But what about the new law?
Well, MediShare is a health-sharing ministry, which makes it exempt from the health reform laws.
If you're a Christian and a non-smoker, log on or call to see how you could start saving on healthcare today. Call 1-866-330-8585 or visit meta-share.org. You do have a choice.
And we're back. Thank you so much for listening. This is The Ray Warner Show, hosted by me, Ray Warner. If you want to email the show, if you have any comments, any questions, or any feedback, something you think I can be doing better, something you think I shouldn't do at all, the email address is theraywarnershow@gmail.com. The only person on the planet who appears to be completely oblivious to Tuesday's election results is Barack Obama. He came out Wednesday and gave what can only be described as an out-of-touch response to what happened just the night before. It's almost as if he didn't see it, like he missed it. And I shouldn't say completely oblivious. I mean, in all fairness, he did say Republicans had a good night.
Obviously, Republicans had a good night, and they deserve credit for running good campaigns.
So he did know that Republicans won. He must have watched, or somebody told him, or that's just what was written down, for him to say, or whatever. And he also congratulated Mitch McConnell and all of that.
Today I had a chance to speak with John Boehner and congratulated Mitch McConnell on becoming the next Senate Majority Leader.
Now, this is where he starts to get off track. He turned the rest of his remarks into how he is moving forward with his leftist ideology. First, he said that he wants to, just listen. Here's what he said.
And I told them both that I look forward to finishing up this Congress's business and then working together for the next 2 years to advance America's business.
So he wants to finish up business with the current Congress. Yeah, I'll bet. They're probably going to shove some court appointees through and other stuff, whatever it is that, needs to get done, whatever he can do with Harry Reid leading the Senate. That's what he's going to do. But then he said he looks forward to working together to advance America's business over the next 2 years. He wants to work with the new Congress to advance America's business. I don't know why, but that word advance bothers me. Maybe it's just me. He wants to advance America's business. To me, that just sounds a little too much like, I don't know, progress. America's, he wants to progress America's business, and he is a progressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making too much of that. I just wish he would have said conducting America's business. To me, that makes more sense. Why say advancing it? Then he was quick to jump on what Mitch McConnell said the night before after beating Allison Lundergan Grimes.
And I very much appreciated Leader McConnell's words last night about the prospect of working together to deliver for the American people. On Friday, I look forward to hosting the entire Republican and Democratic leadership at the White House to chart a new course forward.
He appreciated the fact that Mitch McConnell said something about working together, and McConnell did say that, even though, in my opinion, the American people have no desire for McConnell to work with Obama. What he needs to do is be a strong counterweight, if you will, to Obama's destructive plans for this country. Not to work with him. And he has to know by now that you don't work with Obama unless you're doing what he wants, and you're doing it his way, and you're doing it when he wants it, all of the time. McConnell can work with Obama, but Obama will never work with McConnell. That's just the way it is. But anyway, Obama then went from off track to really bad. Listen to this.
What stands out to me, though, is that the American people sent a message, one that they've sent for several elections now. They expect the people they elect to work as hard as they do. They expect us to focus on their ambitions and not ours. They want us to get the job done. All of us in both parties have a responsibility to address that sentiment.
What he got from this election is the same thing he got from all the other elections. How did he get that? And then he took almost a minute to say Americans want us to work together without actually saying it. And I just don't know where he got that from. Tuesday's election was another landslide against Democrats, against liberalism. Liberalism was on trial, it was convicted, and it's been sentenced in that election. Landslide victory. And did you know that also on the ballot in Oregon, another blue state, illegal aliens being issued a driver's license, the people voted that down 75%. 75% of the people in Oregon said no to illegal aliens getting an Oregon driver's license. That is another huge clue as to what this election was about. It was a mandate for Republicans to stop liberalism, to stop Obama and the Democrats. Stop them, and stop them now. You know, along with the House and Senate seat gains by Republicans and the governorship gains, Obama has lost something like over 700 seats in state legislatures during his presidency. That is very significant. I mean, not only is Congress flipped, and it goes all the way down into these, it's into the governor's mansions and it's into the state legislatures. That's how bad this is for Democrats. It's obvious. It's obvious to me what this election was about. And it had nothing to do with the American people wanting Democrats and Republicans working together to advance Obama's agenda. There's that word, advance, again, creepy. I don't know why it just comes out so sinister from him. Stay there. We'll be right back.
A creative experience unlike any other is waiting for you at Hobby Lobby. Arts and crafts, fabric, scrapbooking, floral, home accents, and so much more. Come and explore Hobby Lobby and find more than you could have ever imagined. Inspiration, innovation, and creation all in one place. Everything you need to bring your creativity to life is here at Hobby Lobby.
Are you concerned about your privacy? Identity theft? Corporate eavesdropping? Who's listening in on your confidential calls? Silent Circle's innovative suite of encrypted communication services allows you the privacy you need and the ease of use you deserve. We've built a customized system focused on security, simplicity, and service, fashioned from the ground up by our team of world-renowned experts with no logging, no data farming, and no backdoors of any kind for anyone. When a Silent Circle subscriber makes a phone call, sends a text, or exchanges a file with another Silent Circle member, that transmission is encrypted, peer-to-peer, end-to-end, direct from your own mobile device or personal computer. With the addition of OutCircle access, you can even call individuals outside the circle knowing you're still encrypted to and from the silent network. Whether you're a small business concerned with corporate espionage, a governmental organization tasked to safeguard sensitive operations, or an individual protecting your family, you can trust Silent Circle's user-friendly apps and services to provide you with an affordable alternative to the risk you've had to accept until now. Silent Circle's groundbreaking global platform is the world's standard for secure mobile communications. Send a secure text across town or whisper in someone's ear 10,000 miles away. Silent Circle has revolutionized how the world communicates securely. Get in the circle.
Well, the Democrats' way of running this country is to go tell us all how we ought to make sacrifices. They're great on that stuff. But they're all going to have us over the hill to the poorhouse. We ain't going to be able to drive over there because we ain't got no gas, so we're going to have to walk it.
Oh, the Reader's Digest says walking is very good for you.
Oh, ain't that lovely? The Reader's Digest can always put a little joy into poverty.
All right, we're back. Thank you all again so much. I really appreciate you out there listening to The Ray Warner Show. I am your host, Ray Warner. You may feel free to email me or the show. The email address is theraywarnershow@gmail.com. Now, you heard Obama say that Republicans had a big night, and he congratulated Mitch McConnell and all of that jazz. Then you heard him get a little off track talking about advancing America's business, which to me is just him speaking in code, for advancing his ideology. Then you heard him get really bad by completely mischaracterizing the results of Tuesday's midterms as some kind of desire on the part of we the people for the parties in Washington to work together to get things done, which again is code for Republicans caving and helping him advance his ideology. Now you're going to hear Obama go from bad to worse.
Still, as president, I have a unique responsibility to try and make this town work.
Still, as president, he has a unique responsibility to make that town work. To me, that's almost him saying, nah, 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 I'm still the president, and it's all up to me what happens. I mean, seriously, the House can pass bills. Now, before, they wouldn't get past Harry Reid. But now, if the House passes bills, they'll go through the Senate under Mitch McConnell, and then what? They're going to sit on the president's desk, or he's going to veto it, or whatever. My responsibility is unique? No, it's not. You're the executive branch. You execute the law, or you're supposed to. Your job, Mr. President, is to secure the border, to strengthen the military, to defeat our enemies, to uphold the law and the Constitution. That's your unique responsibility, not to make the town work. What does that even mean? If by make the town work, you mean facilitate somehow communication between the House and the Senate to get bills passed, well, where have you been? Why haven't you been getting on Harry Reid's case about those 400 some odd bills passed by the House? This is your unique responsibility all of a sudden? And now Obama goes from worse to just off the deep end. I mean, this is some creepy, scary stuff right here.
So to everyone who voted, I want you to know that I hear you. To the 2/3 of voters who chose not to participate in the process yesterday, I hear you too.
To those who voted, he says, I hear you. To those that chose not to participate in the process, I hear you too. I mean, wow, about covers that, doesn't it? So as I said earlier, Obama not only hears the voters, he hears the non-voters. Just what are they saying, Mr. President? And before you answer, let me guess. It's somehow favorable to you and your stupid, failed leftist liberal ideology, isn't it? Am I right? This is one of Obama's favorite tactics, by the way. You've heard him go out and say something like the community of faith leaders, agrees with him on whatever, whatever he's selling that day. So he tries to make it sound like his dumb ideas have all of this support. But you can't go out and find it. Faith-based leaders, who are they? I mean, that could be anybody. And if you find some and ask them, and they're against his policies, well, not those. That's not what he's talking about. It's like the whole consensus on global warming, a consensus of scientists, which really amounts to nothing but a group of liberals asking themselves what they believe and coming up with what they all call a consensus. I mean, more scientists understand that global warming is a fraud. Of course, the liberals say the debate is over. And you know what? They're right. It is over. Okay, we have the emails. The emails proving the cover-up. It's a fraud. The debate is over. Take your tinfoil hats off. Anyway, so he does this. He creates these like straw man arguments designed to make it appear like he has all this support. Here's a clue, Barack the First. The Democrats running in these midterms were too ashamed to even admit having voted for you. Where is all of this support you pretend to have? Oh, right, it's in the people who didn't speak that you heard. I think somebody needs to bring a challenge. I don't know how you would do this. I'm sure there's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way to challenge as to whether or not this man is fit for duty. There needs to be some kind of psychological evaluation after a statement like that. How do you hear someone who isn't speaking? I need to know this. Does he hear color too? Can he hear the difference between blue and red? I mean, it's straitjacket time, seriously. And that's going to do it for today, folks. Thank you again so much for listening to The Ray Warner Show. I am Ray Warner. If you want to email me, if you have any comments, any questions, any problems with something I've said, feel free. You can email me at theraywarnershow@gmail.com. And I don't know how you're listening to me today. I have it out there so that you can download or you can just listen. It's on YouTube. I post every single show on the Facebook and on the Twitter. Daily, there are the 2-minute quick reports. And you can subscribe at theraywarnershow.com. You can get the link in your email to the daily quick reports and to the show. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. Every show, as I said, is posted. You can go to iTunes and find the show and subscribe. However you listen to the show, I just want you to know I really appreciate the fact that you do. And if you like what you hear, tell your friends. Tell your friends and spread the word. Tell them to take the 3-week challenge. Even your crazy liberal friends. Tell them to listen. Listen for 3 weeks and tell them to get back to me. Tell them to give me a piece of their mind if they want to. And thanks again, folks. We'll see you next week. So long.